Here's an update on a video that hasn't come out for you guys yet. None of that made me feel any better. Everything's shit. Everything's still shit. If you're wondering why the video looks like this, I couldn't be bothered to turn my light on, which is 5 centimeters away from me, and instead spent 15 minutes fiddling with the settings so that you could just about make out my face in the darkness. In the darkness. Yeah, none of the stuff that I tried helped, made me feel much better. Still got a headache, still feel tired as shit. Probably need to sleep. Actually, that's probably what it is. It's like 6 a.m. When did I wake up? 2-ish. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 16 hours. So yeah, about now would be when I was sleeping. But I don't feel tired as in sleepy tired. I feel tired as in kind of like maybe I'm just coming down with a flu or something. That would make sense, but it wouldn't make that much sense. I would say I haven't been interacting with people, but my mum goes outside every day, and then she comes back, and I interact with her. She goes to populated areas, supermarkets and shit. So she's probably picking up all sorts of diseases, which she's transmitting to me, because she worked in a hospital her whole life, so she has probably a lot of immunities that I don't have. That would make sense. That could be why. That could be an explanation as to how I would get sick. Another option would just be like, I don't know. There's many ways you can get sick. Maybe I just got sick somehow. Is this ugly? I can't change it while I'm still recording, so tough luck. Maybe I am dehydrated. I shouldn't be. Yeah. Normally I can tell if I'm dehydrated because even though I may not like generally feel thirsty, or I may only feel a little bit thirsty, as soon as I take that first sip of water, suddenly I just want to keep drinking loads of water because I'm thirsty. That's how I realize. But it didn't happen just now, so I'm probably not particularly dehydrated. I'm just researching about cheese. Yeah, here's my admission to you guys that one of my stupid, unrealistic dreams in life is that I would become a cheesemaker, just like a small level artisanal cheesemaker. I love cheese. I'm very passionate about cheese. It's one of my favorite foods. It's very varied. Here's my logic, right? Here's my logic. Cheese has been around for like 4,000 years or something. I don't know exactly when, but whenever the Byzantine Empire, is that the empire I'm thinking of? Oldest cheese. Stone Age. What? Wait, ancient cheddar. Okay, hold on. None of this ancient. Oh, fuck's sake. When was cheese invented? There we go. 8,000 BC. Okay, that's even older than I guessed. Alright, so cheese was invented in 8,000 BC, and it's still going strong. It's always been going strong. Ever since it was invented, everyone has continuously loved cheese. Cheese is like no one just started fucking 10,000 years ago, and it's still going strong. And I think if it can last 10,000 years, it's probably not. It's probably a pretty stable career path to go down, right? If cheese has been around for 10,000 years, I'd say that there's a good chance that the cheese market is not going to crash suddenly across the world. That humans will always want nice cheeses, because cheeses are nice. They're just good. They're just generally a good thing. So that's one reason. But also, I really like cheese, and I really like. I've never made cheese before, although I'm currently planning to make my first attempt at making cheese. Um, but from what I've seen in my research, it looks like a very cool hobby. It involves fermentation, which is, you should probably know, is one of my favorite things. Like, I really like the idea of fermentation. I made a tweet about it. It went something like, fermentation is so cool. You just get something that's kind of okay, and you put it somewhere for a little bit, and then when you come back, little tiny creatures have come and made it delicious for you. It's amazing. That is literally what fermentation is. It's some sort of magical process. It's great. I love it. Um, yeah, cheese is good. Cheese is comfy. It takes a lot. I'm assuming cheese has a pretty high skill ceiling. I'm assuming it has a high skill ceiling. I'm assuming that there's a lot of factors to take into account when it comes to making a great cheese. Um, so if I can make great cheeses, maybe I can eke out a living making nice cheeses. Does this? I can't quite tell what this there's a button, a hardware button, not on the keyboard, just above the F4 button. And I can't quite tell what the symbol next to it is, but it looks like it might be a mic toggle, like to turn the mic off. It looks like it might be a mic with a line through it, but I can't tell. So I'm going to press it right now and we'll see if my voice turns off. Okay. Test, it worked. It was in fact a mic turning off thing, I was right. So that's cool. I could do something like this. I don't know how that sounded. Hopefully interesting. So that's my plan of my music career. When inevitably I wake up and realize that music is a terrible idea. That or suicide. I don't know. I just want to do something that isn't a bullshit job, you know? So many jobs are bullshit. I want to make something that is a product that I'm not alienated from. Like, if I'm making cheese, nothing is stopping me from just eating my fucking cheese. And I am completely in charge of the process. There's no alienation going on there. Unless I work in some cheese factory, which is not what I want to do. That's not the point. I wanna be a father figure for this cheese. Um, if I'm making music, all this shit, I don't want to be making a bullshit job like accounting or something. Something where I have to look at spreadsheets. Even though, spreadsheets actually can be interesting. I'm just beginning to. I'm in the very early stages of realizing that spreadsheets are actually kind of cool, but not in the way they're used 99% of the time. Only when you use them to do cool things with. But I might become one of those people that has a lot of spreadsheets that they use for day-to-day things. Maybe, I don't know. But like, I don't know. I'd be happy, become a carpenter, something like that. some like very specific skill that is in demand, and that just having that skill is like makes you set. A trade, I believe, is what it's called. A trade. Learn to fix things or learn to make things, right? None of this bullshit. Okay, I want to either fix things or make things. Those are the only legitimate jobs. If you don't, if you provide a service, then you can provide me the service of going and shoving your entire arm inside of your anus, because you don't provide shit. And it's not your fault. It is kind of your fault, but it's not really your fault because, you know, economies. Because economies, we moved from an industry-based economy to a service-based economy, right? But really, so even providing a service, something like that. I'm thinking of something like being a barista or like a bartender or something like that. Like that's not that bad. It's mostly managerial jobs, especially things like middle management. That is the worst. That's the part where you have absolutely no value as a human being. Um, like, at least if you're a CEO or something, you have a place in the Marxist dialectic. At least you don't care because you're rich. Like, it doesn't matter that your job is bullshit because you're rich. But if you're like middle management, you get nothing. You lose. You failed in life. That's all I want to avoid. That's all I care about is, you know, you know what they say, right? If you love your job, you never work a day in your life. Well, that's obviously bullshit. But it's also the only way that I would ever consider having a job is if I never had to work. And the thing about cheese making is most of it's just sitting around tending to your cheeses. Or, I mean, what else is there to do? There's dust on the camera. Oh, wow. So that's what that big thing was this whole time. I just thought that was a reflection from the light, but it turns out that was the dust on the camera the whole time. Interesting. You can sort of see like a circle. We don't know what that is. There's something else on this camera. This looks like the video for Talk to Me Nice right now. I mean, Be Nice to Me by Blady. That's exactly what the video looks like. Epilepsy warning. You gotta say the epilepsy warning after you give people seizures. That's how you do it. I don't know. I don't wanna fucking... There's no solution. There is no... I don't fucking know. I think about this all the time, and I've never found an actual answer. I don't think there is one. There's plenty of options, but none of them are, like, all of them are compromises in some way. Like, even the way I currently live is a compromise, but it just happens to be the status quo. It happens to be stable-ish to the point where I don't have to put any extra energy into the system for it to remain as it is, and therefore I don't feel the need to change that system until a better option arrives that's more stable. Kind of like a light switch, you know, how it's stable in both positions, but in order to actually move from one position to the other requires effort. That has a name, but I forgot what the name is. It's probably like... It probably has it's probably bistable or something like that. I bet that's something. Bistability. Is that it? Yeah, bistability means yeah, that's what I meant. Let's see. I know how to speak science. What was I saying? It's all compromises. There's no real answer. Uh, I mean, I've talked about most of the options, but you know, you got the biggest, like, you know, you could go full cyber hobo, live in a squat with my ThinkPad. You could go just remain here I am as long as possible. Try and get autism bucks or something, or something like that. Just get a regular ass job, uh, and then hopefully save up enough to move out and move in with, like, what's the word? Flatmates. Like, you know the word. There's another word for this. What's the American word for that? Roommates. You know what I'm talking about. Um, yeah, that's the word I was looking for. Roommates, flatmates, that thing. Like, I've been offered to move in with some people from uni, but like, I don't know how long that would last. If that would last beyond the couple of years when uni finishes, which isn't even my problem right now. My problem is after uni finishes, so I don't know what problem that really solves. But that's definitely an option, but that requires a lot of money, comparatively to how I live right now. Which could be, in theory, achieved through other means than just getting a regular ass job. By regular ass job, it would probably end up being something servicey. There we go, now I can get... It really doesn't want to show up on camera, this little thing. There you go. Blends in with the background. That's pretty cool. You know, like a cashier or something like that. Waiter. But yeah, those, obviously everyone knows those are shit jobs, and that would make me probably just kill myself. That defeats, like, that job is so bad that it doesn't actually, the negatives outweigh the benefits by a long way. Most jobs are like that. Which means the best option would be, as I said before, a trade, something that, especially if it's something I actually enjoy doing. I think I could learn to enjoy a lot of trades like that. But, you know, I've been considering recently, I know this is bad, but I've been considering, because it turns out a lot of speedrunners of popular speed games, not like the obscure ones that I run, but stuff like Mario 64, or, you know, that sort of thing. Like, a lot of them actually make their living off of Twitch, because they just stream themselves speedrunning, and people donate. So, and one possible option would be for me to just try really try hard and try and make a career out of that. Like, learn a speed game that's actually popular and try and make a career streaming it. Who knows how well that would go? Probably not that well. But that's like just a little tiny idea I had. I'm not taking that one very seriously. That just popped into my head one day while watching Cheese, who is the most popular Mario 64 speedrunner. Maybe, yeah, I think he is, unless it's Simple Flips. But Simple Flips doesn't even run Mario 64 anymore. He plays ROM hacks for Mario 64, which are very entertaining. But he used to be a speedrunner. But I think Cheese is the current world record holder in 120 star, if I remember correctly. Anyway, enough speedrunning autism for one video. I guess, like, yeah, whatever, enough speedrunning autism. But yeah, that's a really unreliable move, but it's not particularly less reliable than music. The only thing is that I have, like, at this point, a tiny audience for music, just enough to keep me motivated to do it. Well, I mean, I'd still be doing it, but just enough to keep me motivated to pursue it as an actual career. But I don't really know how I'm gonna make money. Like, I still only make power. I still don't make any money yet. Maybe soon. I'm holding out for one particular event to happen, which I won't talk about yet, because I don't think I mean, you'll trust me. You'll hear about it when it happens. But maybe I don't think that's gonna make me that much money. But it might make me a little bit of money. Um, but no one. I think I need to start playing live shows. Um, I don't really know how to play. Whoa! Everything changed color there. It's blue now. That was weird. I don't know why that happened. I didn't change anything on the screen or anything. It just decided to go blue. I'm not. Hey, sick. I'm not. I don't care. Um, the gum has lost its flavor. Always wrap your chewing gum in tissue paper before putting it in the bin. Otherwise, it sticks to the sides of the bin. What's another option? There's so many options. Cheese making. Yeah, the problem with playing live, that's what I was talking about. The problem with playing live is I don't know how to do that. Like, I feel like probably what I should do is just find a venue. Like, I know some venues in London, that I've like been to. I don't know the managers or anything, but I know the names of some venues that I've seen punk shows at. And maybe if I just call them up and be like, "Hey, I have no evidence that I can pull an audience in London. I have no evidence of that. I have no guarantee, and I've never played a live show before, so it'll probably be not very good. But please let me play." Then maybe that would work. I don't fucking know. Uh, I guess this is why people get managers, right? Because they have all these connections already, and they can. But I can't afford to pay a manager. I have to be my own manager. Uh, or booking agent or whatever. Um, maybe you can just temporarily hire someone to get you booked in places. But nah, that's not worth it. I should just do it myself. I'm just lazy or anxious about doing it because I feel like something is going to be like I could lose out on an important relationship by messing something up. I tried to mute my mic there while I sneezed, but I don't think I did it. So I think you probably just got a very loud sneeze, which I apologize for. Um, but that's a way to make money. I wish people would buy my merch, you know. I think my merch is cool. I'd buy my merch, but it's weird for me to wear my own merch. But I would buy my merch if I could. It's as cheap as I can possibly make it. The problem is everyone who likes my shit is also poor. Um, and the people who aren't poor are the wonderful good people over on Patreon.com, which every day makes my heart shine. That's not true. It doesn't make my heart shine. What does that even mean? But that's cool. I'm very thankful for that. What was I saying? Oh yeah. But other options, there's so many options. It's kind of ridiculous, in fact. Go for further education. I really don't want to do that. Actually, that's a pretty shitty option. Just fucking wing it. Just wing it. I don't know. It ain't easy. It ain't easy being measy. It ain't easy being the nuclear war now. But fall gang, we gonna pull through. There's all my memes. Nuclear war now. Fall. Noise. I don't make money, I make power. There's all my memes. My forced memes. I just don't fucking know. But the one thing that gives me some hope is like I see all these musicians blowing up who are like my age or sometimes even younger, and I feel bad because it's like these are the people I look up to, and they're already making a living off of their shit. That they're just my age, and I don't like. some of them are like way better than me objectively, but some of them I feel like uh, I'm on the same level as in terms of creativity. I'm not going to name any names, but I'm sure you can think of some people who get famous in the music industry that don't have talent. That's not exactly something rare. But what was I saying? Oh yeah. The thing that gives me hope is that Digibro didn't make enough money off of his career until he was 26. So I feel like as long as I'm good by 26, that's fine. Uh, and until then, he just lived in his parents' house and he worked at like Target for a bit or something. Uh, which I mean, I'd hate it, but I could probably do it if I had to. I really hate it though. That's the entire goal of my life, is to avoid having to ever do that. But Digi got incredibly lucky with every single thing in his life. Like, his parents moved out of their own fucking house and just left him this huge house. That's sick. Like, that never happens to anyone. It's ridiculous. Um, yeah, people like me don't get that opportunity. I could just go to jail. I could just like kill someone and just live in jail for a while. That'd be kind of cool. Uh, I don't know. Um, yeah, there's a lot of things, but none of them are good, as you can see. Obviously, the ideal is to just eventually get big enough with music that I can make uh, just enough. I'm not trying to get rich. I said this a million times. I just want enough that I can afford to eat. That's all I care about. I just want enough that I can afford to eat and pay for internet, and that's all I need in life. Nothing else. Um, but that's a harder. It's way harder to get from nothing to that point than it is to get from that point to rich. I would assume. Um, I don't actually know. Uh, but that tends to be how these things are. I don't really have any idea of how it's possible to grow an audience, except to just sort of let it happen organically, as they say, organically. Which I don't know how you do that. And it feels bad. I don't like it because it feels um, like sometimes I feel like I'm somewhat. It feels like I don't think it ever will because I wouldn't let it. But I feel like there's a thing of like, well, I need to continuously post tweets so that my Twitter account remains active and people are thinking about my brand, or like I need to keep making like no thank you songs that have at least some level of appeal, not necessarily like appeal to the mainstream, but that I know people will like. Otherwise, people will unpatron me, or something like that. Which is I'm dealing with fine. I have my own techniques for making sure that I can stay true to myself and also not piss everyone else off. Mostly because the stuff I want to do is also the stuff that people want to hear. Because right now my audience is small and uh, like cool people. There's not like weird people, but there are some. But most of you are pretty dope. Uh, and then there's this YouTube channel as well, which is just baffling. Sometimes I'm like, should I be putting effort into this? The whole point of this channel is to be unknown. But maybe like that was a misguided point. Maybe I should be trying to take advantage of it. I just don't know. It's impossible to know really. Like I see people like Star and Red, and they actually make decent money just off of ad revenue alone and Patreon, and just from having a YouTube channel. And I have I have my whole music thing as well, and I make nowhere near as much. And it feels bad to say this because I always say I don't care about money. I don't care about money. I really don't. I don't actually care about money. It's the problem is that everyone else cares about money, and at some point you need to give them the money. That otherwise, you'll starve to death, which I don't like doing. I don't like starving to death. No Thank You Goes Homeless arc coming soon. But yeah, things cost very sadly, things cost money, and they really don't. They try to be cray. I wish you're brave. They don't want us to win. They don't want me to do what I'm doing. I'm actively working against everything that is sensible right now with my entire being. Uh, doing everything the hardest possible way. No labels, no management, no connections, no money, no job. The hardest possible way. And you hear about the success stories, but you never hear about the failure stories because no one knows who they are. But maybe I will be the failure story. Maybe I'll be the success story. You never know. It's impossible to judge yourself objectively, especially because so much of it is just luck. Like, there's bands that just, one day get picked up by the Spotify algorithm, and then they have a career just off of one song getting put on an automatic Spotify playlist. Then they get a career out of it because they suddenly, like, that's just crazy. And obviously there's YouTubers who get the same thing from just one of their videos being picked up. I'm sure you've definitely seen on YouTube a lot of random albums get recommended and suddenly blow up that no one even knew about before, like that one Belarusian post-punk album, which the name is not in English, so I don't know what it actually says, but you probably know the one I'm talking about. Or it was weird. It looked like one of my eyes was sort of closing. But I was like, am I having a stroke? But no, I think it was just the light. Maybe I am having a stroke. It looks like this eye is closing. This is one of the things I freak out about. My health. Oh man, it's not good being me right now. Lots of problems. But it's fine. It's fine, and it will be okay. Do you know why? Because, literally, none of this is real. Literally, it doesn't, like, matter at all. Live, like, on a deeper level, live or die, I'll do my best. But on a deeper level, I just live on in the wired, so who cares? Call me Yamada Chisa, or whatever that fucking bitch is called. Anyway, what the fuck is this video? I'm just being an emo. Get out of here. I need to edit the video that I filmed before this, which I'm going to put up after this, just to confuse people, that I mentioned right at the beginning. And I wouldn't have had to fucking edit it, but I accidentally said my real name in the video. Not that it matters, because people know my real name already. Someone already leaked it. It's not even hard to figure out. And it doesn't really matter that if people do know, people will find out. What musician do you know that you don't know what their name is? That's just ridiculous. But for some reason I made a big deal out of this. So now I have to go back and fucking actually edit that video on my computer, which means I have to go through the whole process of transferring the files from my phone to the computer, to my Mac as well, because this computer doesn't have any editing software on it yet. So I have to go through all that fucking process just so I can beep out that one word. Very annoying. But what can you do, eh? Oh yeah, and YouTube's live streaming isn't working, which is just worse. Oh yeah, so speaking of which, go follow my Twitch, link in the description. Twitch.tv/NoThankYouMusic, the O's are zeros. There are good things going on in my life. It's almost my birthday. The weather's nice and cold. This ThinkPad is amazing. I'm very happy with this ThinkPad. The first episode of the season 2 of ThinkPad Thinks is probably going to come soon, once I'm a little more familiar with some of the detail. The reason I did ThinkPad Thinks in Volume 1 is that I'd spent like 3 years with that computer already, noticing all these little details about it, whereas I obviously haven't done that with this one. So a lot of this stuff I can't really talk about in as much detail yet, but I'm probably gonna do some things with it, and I really just want to keep streaming Sonic Adventure. That's all I want in life right now, is to finish Sonic Adventure 1 and 2 and play Sonic 06, and then be really knowledgeable about Sonic lore, I guess, and get a top time in Sonic R. I just like Sonic, okay? I'm autistic and I like Sonic. What's new? I'm not the fucking first person to be autistic and like Sonic, okay? And get out of here. Anyway, that's enough of me whining. Man, I just literally whined. I just complained. Well, I just complained for 35 minutes and 36 seconds. Just about what? Boo-hoo. Boo-hoo, I have to get the job. Like every other human being. Boo-hoo. Life is so painful. Life is so painful. Yeah, well, life is painful when you're not a fucking normie. Because the world isn't built for you. I heard a song today, and one of the lyrics was, I just saw a normie, I think I'm gonna vomit. That was a good song.